Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Last Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today we take a look at another beautiful project from the Steam Workshop, and it's been quite a while since we looked at a station or an outpost, so I thought it'd be great to have a look at this Scorpia sort of shipyard. It's absolutely amazing, and it's took a lot of hints from the Battlestar Galactica universe, and it's designed to fit ships from that universe as well. So Husker's really gone all out with this design. He's got docks for various different sizes of vessels. He's also got the construction yard that we've got here. We've got the docks for the larger vessels there. We've got docks for a smaller vessel there and an even smaller one there, as well as hangars for the various repair vessels and other ships that you need to function on this outpost. But let's really just dive deep into the detail of each one of these segments. So in the construction yard, you'd think, what's important? What would you be building in here? And you're going to be building some absolutely massive ships within this area. And of course, you've got a little bit of lighting. You've got the spotlights either side, and you've got like a control nest where you can meet with your construction crew, I guess, before you start a project. From a functionality standpoint, this place could really be turned into something that would be very, very useful, even though it's pretty large and could cause some frame rate drops. So if we continue moving over to this segment, we've actually got ourselves these connectors. Now these connectors could be perfect for your welding ships. Launch your welding ships out in a massive swarm and get these larger ships or blueprints constructed. You notice there's lots of little conning towers and watch areas, just loads of detailing like little chimney stacks and oil storage drums, things that you don't really know what's going on, but it's just really nice having a look at the detail, especially in segments like this where there's catwalks cutting across to different areas. Obviously I'm not going to be able to show you all of it in great detail, but I'm going to show you as much as I possibly can. You can see these elevators going down here, so let's just pop into this segment and activate this elevator. So this elevator is actually going to take us up to that next deck up there as well. So you can see that leads around onto there, and just look at the detailing that we've got on these hydrogen tanks as we enter into this smaller storage area. So this is construction control center, and in here we do have a number of fighters. I've just depressurized the actual place. We've got the Hellcat Mark III. There's loads of ships that actually come with this station, but what ended up happening as I pasted it in, a lot of them just kind of floated off into space. You can probably see there are actual antennas going out over there as well. So as we come into this section, we actually have ourselves a command and control center. We'll just glance in through there, but you can see the idea of it. It's got lots of seats, lots of seating areas, and it's just designed to control the whole of this outpost, or just mainly the flights. So next up we have the transport hub. So this is going to be passengers coming in and out of the actual outpost. Will be arriving here, be transported out after they've done the time or whatever sort of service they're doing at this particular outpost. Over at this section as well, we've got another little hangar. That's a really cool sort of walkway up the side there into that overlook as well. So let's continue working our way around the back. And as you can see, the level of detail within these buildings is absolutely amazing, especially if one person's work on this. Husker's done this all himself. It must have took him hours and hours of time. So moving on to this little section here, we do have ourselves another hangar bay, but if we go around to the back, you should be able to access it. Well, I thought you could access it. You must have to access it around the front, or we'll take a little bit of a sneak peek in through one of these sides. But basically we've got a load of hangar bays here for maybe smaller vessels that are actually visiting this particular outpost, and we've also got large tunnels for them down below. Now, as we come a little bit further up, we have ourselves the docking bay for 3 larger ships. You see we've got the connector port up at the side. It's all wired up, plumbed up, so if you manage to dock yourself within that area, I'm going to say these docking ports can be hard to dock ships into, especially if you've got a ship that's nearly the size of the port, where it's much easier just to have a connector that's sticking out, but it's sticking with the sort of Battlestar Galactica theme. We're going, of course, through the oil reserve, or whatever fuel dump this particular area is. We've also got the resource refinery center at the side here as well. So we've got so many refineries going through here. A lot of production is going to be needed to just fuel the output of ships, as well as the repair of ships from this outpost. It'd be absolutely immense. This would be probably a 60 player, nearly 100 player sort of outpost if it actually fully functioned in that manner, and space engineers could support such a thing. So we've got the crane over here that is of course semi-functional. It's just going to turn left and right, and you can't really pick up them containers without using a merge block. So it could be done, but it just require a little bit more engineering on that front. We've got ourselves like a refinery and sort of fuel storage hub here in the center. We've got lots of docking ports, so you could pick up the various supplies with the smaller ships and transport them to the areas that you need them. And I really do like that idea. So coming over into this section, we've of course got a grinder pit. We've got a few smaller pods. When I initially looked at this, I thought this area was probably for transport vessels to transport you out to these larger ships that are docked in this section, but I could be wrong. So you can see we've got the detailing of each one of these little hangar bays here. We've got the connectors as well as the little ports for the oxygen storage on the front there. We've also got some nice docking going on underneath as well. There's multiple levels to this outpost, and it's very easy to just miss a section completely if you're not too careful. And of course, if I wanted to look through this in depth, I'd be here for about an hour probably, looking through each and every building. So we're on to the much larger type docks here for probably the largest ship in the Battlestar Galactica series. So you can see how that's going to be docked into each one of them. Still, careful piloting is going to be required. Now coming over to this section, it looks like we have some sort of bunk houses. That's what I'm guessing, but we can pop inside. It could just be more refinery type systems. Yep, this is just a massive oxygen production room. From the outside, it looks like a little bit of a bunk house where you might store some personnel ready to man these bigger ships. And over on this section, we've got these other oil storage, or just fuel storage. They look like oil type drums, but they could be storing hydrogen and all sorts. Let's have a cutaway and just see what it's actually storing inside. Yeah, storing hydrogen fuel. So these could be very explosive as well, so it's nice to have them a little bit separate from the actual outpost. Let's explore a few more of these different segments. So this one's got these little docking crafts that look really cool indeed. So let's actually pop inside this building and see what's going on in here. So if we enter through these doors, we activate our little magnetic legs. We enter into another one of these welding rooms. We have this welder on an arm above each of these docking bays, so it means that we could quickly weld up or repair a ship and then send it back out. And we've got the Raptor production in this particular section. So during welder phase, please enter Raptor cockpits and turn off the dampeners. Okay, so he's even got a little bit of information of what you need to do so you don't cause any injury to yourself. That's always useful, especially when you're using someone else's blueprint or looking around someone's station. When they have some information or instructions for you, you really do need to listen to them. So you could probably print off a Raptor from this particular design there as well. Very nice indeed. It's all timer blocked up. Also got this really cool looking solar array. Probably cost of materials is probably not worth it, but we have got solar panels all the way underneath there just with the vents on the top. It'd be interesting to see how much actual energy these guys are making. Let's cut that panel back a bit. Yeah, so these don't even look like they're actually receiving any power at the moment, or they're not connected to actually produce that. Very interesting indeed. Very cool outpost, lots of layers. And if we duck underneath now, we're also going to see the underside of the outpost. That is just as detailed, even though it is an underneath. You can see all these different sections have been ribbed, as well as sort of funnels and different sections where you could just imagine that waste and spare parts of this base would just be dumped out into space. Probably be a very sort of environmental problem around this base with the amount of production that would be going on. Very, very cool indeed. Anyway, if you want to explore this base for yourself, there is going to be a link to it in the description, taking you straight to the workshop page. Have a look at the blueprint. You'll figure out where the areas are, and you might even want to try grabbing one of the Battlestar Galactica ships and attempting to dock it at this outpost. Very, very cool indeed. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.